Podcast 9. Does absolute power corrupt the way they say?
Does absolute power corrupt the way they say?
In this podcast, we take a listen to a few different power cables and a couple of different power conditioners to see if and how they affect tone. As for the claims that a $140 cable will dramatically affect live sound, well, that's what we're here to find out.
So what do we think will happen? We've been down this road before, and we were skeptical with the instrument cable test, and we all know where that got us, or at least if you've listened to the cable podcast, you know that we both ate a little crow on that one. So we're going to reserve judgment for later. For my part, I do have a hard time imagining there's going to be a dramatic difference, however.
I'll say there will be a difference, but how much of a difference? And like you always say, Rich, what part of that difference are you interested in? You may not want that difference. Everyone's got their taste.
It's true. It's true. The bottom line is that although we're trying to illustrate the differences here so that you can decide if you want to try these different things within your rig, try and get the sound that you want, all we're trying to do is take the snake oil component out of it, right? Will there be a difference? Yeah, there probably will be. Whether or not the difference will be something that affects your playing, the way that you hear your sound, whether it makes your tone more strident, whatever the case may be, it's really up to your ear to decide that in the end.
So, we have 3 cables, a generic power cable, an Analysis Plus, and an Essential Sound.
And yes, there is a monster high-end power cable out there. Similar price point to the Essential Sound, the Analysis Plus, but we don't currently own one. Sorry, guys.
Next time. We also have 2 power conditioners. We have a Furman
PL8C rack-mounted unit.
And we have a Monster.
And that is a Pro 1000 power strip type unit. For a sound, we opted to use the Reeves 10HG and go with a fairly driven sound at a fairly high volume using the bridge and the neck pickup on a T-style guitar, our Nash TC63, which we love. The instrument cable we went with was the George L. .225 red with unplated brass plugs. The way that we dialed the amp, we wanted to have the power section breakup be playing a large part in the tone. The preamp obviously is very important in the overall sound, goes without saying, but the power section, like we said, we feel like we're guessing a little bit, but we sort of guessed that that would be where you would actually capture a difference in power, cleanliness, and current flow with these cables and power conditioners.
The mic we used was an MXL V67i that was on the bright setting, no roll-off, no padding. We used this to take advantage of the extended frequency range that the 57 doesn't have, and it was positioned off-center, off-axis. And
there's no effects on this at all. We went straight into the amp, and of course we changed nothing on the amp. We didn't tweak the knobs at all. We didn't change the instrument cable. All we did was switch the power cables and conditioners.
We're also going to try the different power cables we're testing through the power conditioners versus the wall socket.
What we're going to end up with is 3 sets of samples for each power source. We're going to end up with 3 samples in the wall socket with each power cable, 3 samples in the Monster Pro 1000 power strip with each cable, and 3 samples with each cable in the Furman PL8C. We'll be running off only one power source, of course, that being the power source in the GTN labs. Yeah, that's my basement.
I don't want to know what kind of dirty power is coming out of your practice space.
You know what? To be perfectly honest, I don't either.
For more podcasts, Guitar Tone related resources, or to comment on this podcast, please go to guitartonenetwork.com. You can also subscribe to GTN on iTunes and like us on Facebook. The GTN podcast is licensed under Creative Commons 3.0.